And we're back to another episode of Let's Play Lunar, the Silver Star Story. I'm your host, the RPG guy, and we just got the Red Dragon, we just met the Red Dragon, and we've got some armor, shield from, I also put the fire sword on Alex for now, and we healed up, and we restocked a little bit, mildly, but nothing major. And speaking of that, let's, pass the savings on to you! Making sure everybody except Alex has 2 healing nuts. Might even give Alex another one, but meh. He doesn't really need it. Alright, let's get moving. I don't know why I'm walking out of here. We could just warp to Mariode, which is where we need to go. I'm so used to having to leave places to, you know, use warp magic and stuff. So let's go to Mariode, because now we can actually get to the other side of the town. Yay! And just in case I didn't, I'm pretty sure I did though. Let's walk across. And up here. And so now we get some weaponry options here. Now, this is actually better than the fire sword, and strangely enough, it's a weapon that Kyle can get as well. So the fire sword is neat and all, but this is neutral offensively, so I find this to be a better deal because, like I said, it's neutral elemental, so you don't have to worry about it messing up a lot of what's going on here. So anyway, great sword. It's a really good weapon. Water mace, moist magic. God damn this game. Yeah, we'll get it. And then Sage's Cane, the Wise Walking Stick. Anything that benefits wisdom is going on our characters, but we're not selling their old gear. I'm also a little reluctant to sell Alex's swords yet. So, the elemental swords. So let's go ahead and stock those for now. We will sell them eventually, and there's a good chance I won't even reference or go back to those weapons. It's just me being me. I just want to hold on to it just for a little bit, just to be sure. So we'll sell the long battles, the bastard sword, which I'm surprised they didn't make a joke out of that. So we'll sell that guy, and the ice mace, moist magic, ice mace and water mace. There really isn't a benefit or a difference really between these two. It's not like you can use the ice mace in battle and it helps you. So we'll sell that. Let's get moving. Deep. If we notice enemies in the next dungeon are weak to fire, next areas are weak to fire, we'll make that effort then. Now there's another thing here to keep in mind. Okay, we could wander up and over. And this is... let me check here. Now there was a thing down there. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. What is that awful noise? It sounds like it sounds kind of like a song, but whoever's playing it has a serious case of tone deafness. Do you think stuffing blades of grass in my ears would help stop the bleeding? What are you people talking about? This song is great. In fact, I'm going to sing along. Thanks, Kyle. Now my ears and my nose hurts. That's quite enough of that, Kyle. Have you no shame? I used the wrong voice for that, but that's okay. I don't want to go up in there yet. Get on up in there. I want to show you an area that I walked by, which we can attempt to do now, but it's not a good idea for us to attempt to do now, because the XP here is ridiculously terrible. I don't think you get anything for money either. You have to be a bit of a masochist to try to get through here. And there's a reason the game is doing that. And if you can tell, you probably know what's over there. If you can tell what's over there now, then there is. And I believe we can make our way over there, but we have to avoid the enemies. We really do. But the problem is these enemies, they hit like trucks. So, and you're not going to do much damage to them either, I don't think. So, it's one of those things where you have to weigh your options. And running is hard. So let's see. 70 damage. Yep, they can instant gib our casters. So, yeah. Yeah. Poison as well. And I don't think we can fight him back very easily either. So, I made a big mistake in running, but, you know, what are you going to do? Just let him kill me at this point. So this will be a death, but I wanted to show you that there is something over there. The catch is, can you actually get over there alive? In our current state, as you can see, it's a dead man's party. In our current state, that's not something that's easily done. Now, that, in all fairness, is a bad instance. I didn't fight back. We'll try one more time. We will try one more time. But the problem is you're burning through all your best abilities to get through to this area. So we'll try again. I know. But we'll make a thing to give it another try here, because I believe we still will get most of our characters to attack first. But you can't half-ass it. You gotta go all or nothing. And actually, the best way to do it's this. And yes, I'm totally gonna overkill as much as we can here.
Check this out.
Yeah, so only Nash got to go first. Already not looking good. But this is okay so far. As long as they don't hit Alex, we're okay. As long as they don't team up on Alex, we're okay. Look out, Nash! Get some! They're still alive. Oh, Nash is still in there. He could actually finish them off.
Check this out.
Yeah, that's the kind of XP we were getting earlier in the game for enemies that murder my party pretty heavily. This whole area is riddled with enemies like this. So, yeah, I just showing that off as an example. We'll come back here later. So, yeah, but you can see we could defeat them, but at what cost? It's just not worth it right now. We will head there eventually. Don't get me wrong. We will be going there. Oh, yes, we will be going there. But the enemies aren't worth it. There's one chest, I think, in that forest in its entirety. So that almost is a deal breaker just on principle. But it's what's on the other side of that forest that people tend to care about a lot. And we'll get to it. I just wanted to show you that, yeah, you could beat those enemies, but is it worth it? Not really. Not at this stage of the game. And we're over-leveled, by the way. We're significantly over-leveled. We're like 3 or 4 levels above where the game kind of thinks we should be. For the most part. That might be a little hyperbolic. We might not be that strong, but we are on the much stronger side. Alright, so, I know I went back to Mario to heal, but that's fine. Monsters in your wind shrine, buddy? You know, open door, monsters come out, monsters eat your faces. Why don't we have to leave? Why don't we leave the door alone before the green-haired guy eats our faces off? Okay, so, I always forget this little town and how it works. Yeah, this. Okay. believe we gotta go in here. I think this is the elder's house. My father is the elder of the village. Please listen to what he has to say. Oh, you know what? Really quick, before I forget. There is one of these houses, I think, is a merchant. Yes! And it gives us armor. Nice. Okay. Let's get to it, because we almost missed out on this because I totally forgot. We'll buy that. Very expensive gear here, by the way. We'll buy this. We'll buy the holy shield. I love stronger. Holy armor, stronger than prayers. Holy shield. Holy, not holy. And this is actually a worse upgrade for Alex. Rainbow armlet, a circle of color. The circle of color. So you could pass on this if you really wanted to. Heavenly head holder. Jesus. The names for this stuff is insane. And then we can sell off the old gear. Especially the steel gear. That's why having a ton of money is a good idea. We almost burned through all of it too, awkwardly enough. The other thing I want to do, just to kind of keep us on safe grounds in the future here, is let's go in and buy Angel's Tears. A little pricey, and I know Null has a couple, which I didn't mean for him. We'll give one to Jessica as well. She'll learn an ability to do it automatically, but for right now it makes sense to give it to her. Yeah. There we go. That's kind of a better layout than what we had before. Just because if somebody dies and if we need them back, any character at that point can pick them up. Pick them up, pick them up, pick them up. Alright, so yeah, we're looking pretty good. Right? Yeah. It's the green-eyed boy. I've waited many cycles of the blue star for your arrival in Layton. But you have come here at the worst possible time. None of us can sing. None of us can express our joy.
He's talking to you like he knows you, Alex.
Alex, so that is your name. We never learned it in our dreams. Do you hear that awful music, Alex? Of course you do. It's coming from the ancient temple our ancestors built in the heart of a windswept valley near the village. Monsters have appeared in the temple and affected the music, and we don't have the resources to fight them. This village has lived in peace since it was built hundreds of years ago. We know nothing of combat. Well, then you're fucking dead weight, brother. I don't know what to tell you.
A cave filled with monsters.
You've already cleaned out a few of those, haven't you, Alex?
Yes, he has. And I'm sure he could clean this one out too.
But we don't have to waste time slaying mangy monsters for a helpless bunch of loungeless singers. Not when we still don't know where to find the blue dragon.
Just
as in the dream, you seek to become the Dragon Master. You don't need to go anywhere to find the blue dragon, Alex. We are its protectors. He can be summoned only during our festival, but without our song, we can't get festive about anything. That makes our choice a whole lot easier. So what do we do next, old man? There's an entrance to the shrine on the east side of the village. Go inside and explore until you find a place where the song is created. Restore it and return here. Sounds simple enough. Right? Okay. Let's get to it. I think we can make a save too, just to make sure. Once we're already geared up and all that hub-da-bub. Alright, let's do this. Again, this is also not a bad place to level up either, just because the enemies here are pretty easy, pretty tolerable. I would say. Let's go with ice, just to be on this. We'll go ice and fire, see which one they're really weak against. And we should be able to kill 2 of them, and then one will probably still be alive. Though not using full-blown magic is probably against my better judgment, because realistically, we should be able to kill this grouping of enemies with magic. So I'll probably will do that next round. Make battles easier. There's no boss, I don't believe, in this dungeon. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there isn't. So the need for doing this, you know, trying to conserve MP is not as prominent. Especially with Mia having so much of it. And then, yeah, Alex, Nash, and Jessica can just regular swing away at enemies, and that should be fine. Alright. So let's try some magic this time. You know what? It's cheap. It is.
Check this out.
Then there's a better start damage-wise. I don't think we're gonna get a full kill though. Especially not when Alex is hitting with his purse. So that means we can go even cheaper spell-wise with Mia. Maybe even use a staff, but that's irrelevant right now. So 492 for killing 3 enemies. Yeah, that other dungeon can go fuck itself for a while. Now there's multiple different types of enemies here, but as you can see, we're running into mostly ants at the moment. There be ants in our pants, and they make me do the woody dance. Woo. Let's see how this plays out.
Check this out.
Again, Nash's purpose in the party is really that he's faster than horse shit. His magic, I personally would say, does not outperform Mia's in the grand scheme of things. But the fact that he's so fast is really a big benefit to the party. Yeah, easy kill. So these enemies aren't too hard either. So there's a whole philosophy of grinding, and I may not have picked the best spots, but they were the spots I like to grind in, so. But yeah, there's no reason not to kill every enemy you run into. There's no reason not to do it. So far, we've done it in almost every dungeon to this point. And it's done nothing but benefit us this whole way. So now we've got some enemies. I'll show you one of these, and then we'll clear the rest of these fools out. But there is an enemy that is immune-ish, and I say immune-ish because it's more of an ish. They're somewhat immune to, you know, just to be safe, let's go with something a little more potent. They are immune to magic. So, yeah, you gotta melee fight them down. It's not these dudes, though, as you can obviously see. There's a reason I did that. I like how they're just being ping-ponged back and forth. Oh, what? Oh, come on, Mia. Let that thing get a cheap shot in there like that. And then there's going to be one left to kill. I guess we could use Mia's stronger spells. The ice variant of her magic if we wanted to. That would do more damage. Most likely. $820. That XP just keeps going up, and that's what I love to see. So we'll come back and fight them. I just want to show you guys. So I'll kill this thing and kill those other 2 dudes, and get that delicious XP. All right, so killed them all with extreme murder skills. Just keep moving. I thought I killed that. Did I not kill that? I could have sworn I killed that. Alright, so let's keep moving. Get a wisdom robe. which goes to Nash. Make sure he equips that pronto. Knit with knowledge. Or is it knitted with knowledge? No, knit with knowledge. I was gonna say, is it knitted with knowledge? That would make more sense. And you can see there's some cracks in the ground. I believe that it does amount to something, but we're gonna avoid it for the time being. We get a new enemy type. Again, I don't believe these guys are too hard. And yeah, I know that the area is kind of dark. It's not me, it's the game that's doing it. Let me try Thunder Thrust just for laughs. It's overkill, but it won't overkill the enemies, but it's definitely stronger than it needs to be. I just want to see if it'll actually... No, it doesn't really allow the melee characters to single shot anything. If I did, then that's a better strategy than what we've been doing, theoretically. Again, nothing major. And I think there's one more enemy type down here that we have to deal with, so...
Summon elemental power.
You can see these dudes aren't that big of a deal. Getting almost to 1,000 XP a fight. This is good news for those of you trying to get your levels up and keep them nice and high. We'll go back and fight him later. That's all that's left. So let's go pick a fight with familiar foes. All right, let's keep moving. And then I believe these are the enemies that have to be beaten down with kendo sticks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's these dudes. In this case, you just kind of go after the one that's got the electricity going around it, I'm pretty sure. Because he's going to use an attack that's relatively nasty, and you don't want to get hit by it. Hopefully that kills it. And yeah, one will survive. Now we could use Sword Dance or some of the more offensively beefed up attacks, but I don't know. That's the attack we wanted to defend against. Actually, no, we survived that fine, so never mind. I always forget which attack is more devastating, the electrical one or that vicious eye one. And in all fairness, it doesn't seem to really matter. These guys aren't too bad. They give shit for XP, though, compared to the other enemies down here. But I believe there are bigger groups or them, or they add them with other enemies, so... Yep, here, speak of the devil. Let's do a little fun thing here. Let's use Explosion Staff. We'll hit him with some magic, too, so you can see that. Let's see how it goes.
Check this out.
Yeah, see, they're immune to magic, for the most part, which you might have saw with the staves last time, but just as an example. And even there, we didn't get the kill on them, so yeah.
Summon elemental power.
Okay, so Vicious Eye is their nasty attack. So, yeah, that's really the gist of it. Should be able to kill this one. There we go. So yeah, not even using an upgraded attack is going to move that along. I mean, the Explosion Staff worked better than his regular attack, but they're not weak to it. They're just regular vulnerability to it, really. So I look at it. So let's pick a fight, shall we? Alright. Let's keep moving and fighting. Alright. Let's Sorry, that moved the mic away from me for a second. All right, let's keep moving. Okay, so dead ends. There's a lot of dead ends down here. So obviously, fighting extra battles is going to be at your own discretion if you know where to go. Me personally, I just like the idea of slaying the monsters and getting the goods. Because getting the goods and killing the monsters means you're getting the babes. Alright, I'm going to kill both of these enemies really quick. You ever rip a fart and then realize as soon as you go to rip that fart that wasn't a fart? Yeah. And yeah, so farted and a prairie dog stuck his head out and I was like, and I gotta use the bathroom. As I just fallen, didn't I? Yeah, this is a recurring kind of theme of this dungeon, though I've been doing my best to primarily avoid it. We fell in the hole there. That led to nothing, by the way. I'll fall in it again just for shits and giggles, because it's pretty much where we need to go anyway. It doesn't do damage to you, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't do damage to you. So falling in one isn't a big deal. I'm just going to skip by these guys. Well, I'm going to come back and fight them, but I know you guys aren't that interested in watching me murder stuff all that often. And there's some dudes down here. So I'm going to fight that big old mob of enemies. And, I mean, you can just see how easy it is to avoid some. I know there's speedrunners out there who like to speedrun stuff, and obviously avoiding enemies is a big speedrun thing, but none of the enemies here, except maybe the Antoid-like enemies, are fast enough to keep up. So let's kill everything that I've shown you so far. Alright, so we're all set there. Killed a lot of enemies. Everybody's now level 30. I know some of you would like to see me fight every single battle, but I just don't see the overall benefit for you as the viewer for that. You know, the battles, many people would argue in these older JRPG games that battles are monotonous. And they don't bother me at all probably because I grew up with it and my standard is not necessarily the same as everybody else's. But just in general, I think that it's not a big deal dealing with a lot of the fights, and you get used to it as time goes on. And even to this day, we still look at games like Dragon Quest XI that just recently came out, and people aren't really legitimately complaining about too many random battles, or there's too many battles in general. People have mostly realized that if you don't like too many battles, then you're not gonna like RPG games. Go fucking play something else. And I've had little mini debates with people on this. It's like, it's the style of game that it is. You know, if you want a good story experience and you don't like the idea of doing all that, go watch an Let's Player. Promoting the LP people, you know? Because there are people that just... I remember a friend of mine who used to play a lot of action games, but he only really liked the ones that had really good stories. So we're talking like stuff like Metal Gear and things like that. That was his like thing. He liked Metal Gear. He liked the big story-driven action games. But as time went on, he noticed that that he really had a thing for the RPG game storylines. The problem was that there weren't enough great RPG games in his mind that were good. And a lot of his stigma to RPG games came in the form of... Let me do that. Came in the form of, I can't get through the stories because the battles are monotonous. I guess for me as a gamer, it's really, you see the characters grow. You see your party grow gradually, and you see how much hard work you put into them. And I think that combination of elements is why I really do think that a lot of people like the monotonous battles of JRPGs, at least in feel and design, because you feel this huge accomplishment of slow, steady progression, and you can sit back and go, I remember when my character couldn't do any of those things. Or, like, I feel my character's developing. You feel the struggle a bit more. Now, in all fairness, there are game franchises that took this way too far. Early Dragon Quest games did that. Even early JRPG games in general were a little too grindy, but they were the first of their kind, so I tend to find it to be quite forgivable. but when you break down like modern games doing it, it doesn't make as much sense. But in the same breath, some people really like that. So I don't know. It's a very weird situation that people are still kind of on the fence over. As you can see, we got more enemies. Don't worry, we cleared this whole floor out, so it's not like, we can't handle it. Because now we're going back upstairs, so back kind of upward here. Trying to avoid the cracks, because the cracks don't lead to anything good, and there's only one enemy here, so we'll take him out the old-fashioned way with some concentrated murder. Now, you can see I've burnt through a lot of my skills in magic, because I just didn't see a point in, just doing the monotony of the regular stuff, so... But you know who's fully loaded? It's Kyle. I totally attacked them in the wrong format, but whatever. Whatever. I really wanted Jessica to attack the top ant, but I kind of screwed that up. I'm not helping myself by doing what I did. Boom! And then all that's left are ants. Well, I guess it didn't really matter. Now that's a shame because I don't think it's gonna hit the other two. Oh no, it did actually, except the last one there. All right, yay! Let's finish off the Giga Ants. Giga Ants. You can see the damage we take is so much less when we actually use our skills. And you could be taking less damage too by using skills! The stuff that you actually got on your characters when you know you're not going to be fighting a boss fight! Or you've been getting some free starlights like we've been getting. Always a nice little grab when we get some starlights. What are we doing on Null's space here? Lots of starlights, and we're not even buying them anymore at this point. I mean, I might buy a few later, but it'd be really specific for me to want to buy one. So now we're on the very top floor again, looking out for cracks. Although it would just send us to the previous floor, so it's not the end of the world. It appears the wind is blowing through the halls and making musical tones.
I think calling those nice musical might be stretching it a bit.
Well, it's up to us to fix that. I bet if we push these rocks in front of the holes, we'll change the tune.
But which holes do we cover and which holes do we leave open?
Well, let's stop blabbing about what might work and try something. Why don't we just push some rocks and see what happens? But before I do that, I want to make sure there's no chest or anything. I don't think there is a chest in this area. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta check. Be kind of weird to miss out on that on a chest. I mean, it's one thing to miss out on a little side item or something. It's another thing to miss out on a chest. Okay, that didn't help.
Hey Alex, if it mirrors, the music get a little better. Really? It still sounds awful to me. No, it's different. I think we've almost got it right. Let's keep trying.
It's not a hard puzzle. It's a puzzle, but it's not a necessarily difficult one. If you catch my drift.
Ah, what a beautiful music. We fixed it, Alex.
It sounds so lovely. When the music's this pretty, I bet it makes Kyle want to get all prettied up for himself. You're never gonna stop razzing me about that, are you? It was a ruse. R-U-S-E. I was trying to trap Zenobia, not get my jollies. God.
Now, Kyle. You were kind of exotic dressed as a woman.
Let's just get out of here. Brother. Yeah, before he starts trying to kill us all. Now this actually, I believe, forces enemies to respawn. But regardless, we don't have to deal with them if we don't want to, because we can leave as such. Yay! Everybody's happy. And what is our 2 next level? Pretty far. Yeah, 1200 is not too bad, especially when enemies are giving as much as 1,000. Not exactly 1,000 every time, but as much as 1,000 is not too bad. Alex, you've done it. You've returned the song of the valley to us. Now the festival can begin. We will sing songs of thanks to you for your great deed. Walk north to Leighton Lake. The blue dragon shrine rests beneath its placid surface, but it won't rise up unless a song is sung by 2 people who are deeply in love with each other. The song of 2 lovers is the key to the blue dragon shrine. How wonderful! How romantic! How wildly impractical. Well then, let's go to the lake and sing.
Why, he's just so excited all of a sudden.
Fucking Kyle. He knows too much. He knows too much. Now, because the last episode was kind of long, this is a good place for us to stop. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I am your host, the RPG Guy. And when we come back, Blue Dragon Quest Ho! We'll see you guys there. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please take a moment to check out more episodes from the RPG Guy, Tuesday Night Team Up, and more. And please subscribe. Always support the channels you enjoy watching, and while you're at it, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Keep on gaming hard. See you next time.